Hey everyone, it's Connor back from This Old Farm, and today we're kind of got just another little update for you. Don't really have a whole lot of work to happen anymore. We spent most of the day today out on the road. We had to pick up something. We didn't buy something, but we did collect something. Got ourselves a little rear unload manure spreader. I have, for as long as I can remember, ever since I was a little kid, have wanted a rear unloading manure spreader. We have, you can see it kind of way off into the distance there. We have a side unloading wagon or manure spreader, and that's what me and Dad used to always use up until we got the dual wagons that are hooked up behind the M there. One of them is anyways. But I always wanted a rear unloading spreader. I always felt like that was the best way to go. Them side unloaders, they're fine for if you got kind of liquidy stuff, but we got hay pack out here, as you can kind of see, and so I always wanted one of these rear unloaders for that, because I just figured it was a little bit better. So a friend of mine had this, and it was one of those things that he had held on to for quite a while and thought maybe someday they would maybe get it going again and use it as a backup. But he just kind of finally decided that if the one they have that goes down, they would just go ahead and buy a bigger one, because he wants a bigger one anyways. So we went and picked this up today from him. It's a Minnesota made. It's a 135, spread all 135, I think was what the number on the side said. It needs a little bit of work. As you can see, one of the apron bars are up on top. Yep, 135. Also this chain for the drive sprocket down there for the apron is broken, so we have to figure out why the apron chain keeps breaking, because he was having troubles with that, and then repair the drive chain for the apron moving, so the apron pole, whatever you want to call it. So that's going to be kind of our project coming up. Hopefully get it going here to use in the spring here, use it to spread manure with. I hooked it up behind the H to get it pulled off of the trailer. Probably won't be what we use to spread though. It'll probably be the M, I hope. So I also went through and put a different set of tires on the H. These are the ones from the M diesel that were on my M, and we put them on here on the H because the H had 14.9s and one of them had gone flat, and so we figured, well, being that the M diesel's not in use, we'll throw these on the H so that if we ever need to use that, it's got good aired up tires. So that's another little thing we can touch on, is the M's got its tires, different tires on. So went through and did that tire stuff on Friday evening, I think it was, something like that. So yeah, there we are. I also was able to get the Super C going this weekend. I pulled the mower deck off of it, and then I sat and fiddled around. I tried to get the 6-volt battery there to take a charge, but it's not having it. So I think we're going to end up just 12-volt converting this. But it does run. It does start up and run. I probably could... I will insert the clips I have of it from yesterday, but I might be able to get it to... Let's see. Whoa. There she goes. Fires right up. So, sounds pretty nice. I had to jimmy rig it a little bit. Of course, disconnect the generator so that doesn't get burnt out. And got a little screw holding them two wires together, so I had ignition. And then over here, I got a little vice grip holding my wire onto the ballast resistor so that I could turn it, bring it down to 6 volts. But it's actually a pretty good runner. I'm pretty happy with it. So I wish it would idle down. I don't know why the governor keeps it so revved up, but it sounds really nice. I'm really happy with it. So the transmission is really quiet. Actually revs back up. Transmission's really quiet and everything. I can't function the touch control yet because the levers are kind of seized. Evidently whoever had it beforehand didn't really use that much, and so I gotta kind of get the levers freed up and stuff. But other than for that, I mean, she's a really nice runner. So go ahead and I'll go ahead and get the components to 12 volt, convert it, get a different battery. Obviously that's the one from the M, so it don't fit in there, so get a different battery for it, get an alternator, stuff like that. Probably, what else was I gonna say? I forgot. 12 volt, convert it. Oil change, do an oil change on it, stuff like that. Kind of your, you know, typical after you buy a tractor sort of thing. So get a different coil for it so I don't have to have this mess. I used the vice grip because I couldn't find a screw that would fit through the hole on the ballast resistor, and I didn't want to cut that and spade that terminal on there. So eventually I'll get a 12 volt internally resisted coil and put it on there, so, and then that ballast resistor can go back on the Cub low boy. That's actually what that's off of, is a Cub. But yeah, she's a good little runner, and so I'm pretty much ready to start putting money into it now. Now that I've kind of proved that it's gonna be a sort of valuable piece of equipment, I guess. So buy up a set of cultivators here for it eventually. That mower deck I put on Facebook Marketplace for sale, so go ahead and get rid of that. I close up didn't close the door for the Cubby yesterday, I guess, so we'll do it now today. So eventually here I'll get that thing going too. I was gonna pull the carburetor off. I was gonna do that today actually, and then I got pulled away with getting the manure spreader, and then of course sitting chitter chatter after we got it loaded and whatnot, and so that's kind of how that goes, I guess. So anyways, it's kind of end of the weekend. Clean up a little bit. I didn't put the battery charger back after yesterday, and this, that, and the other thing, so we'll get stuff put away here. But that's about all I did this weekend. I got the Super C, fiddled around with that, spent most of the day pulling that dumb old mower deck off of it, and then eventually screwed around with trying to find components to be able to run it off a 12 volt, because I gave up on that 6 volt battery. I think evidently it discharged enough that it went dead. The thing's not even, well, you can see the sticker 11 of 24, and based off of the date stamp, it was bought in January, February, March of the 5 is scraped, so March of 25, so the battery's like a month old, but it's already junk, so that's all right. I guess we're just gonna 12 volt convert it, which is kind of how I would rather have it anyways. I'll keep the generator and stuff like that for, you know, if it ever goes back to, gets restored or something like that. But, or if I, heaven forbid, sell it and send it off with the generator in case somebody wants it. But that's kind of where that stands. So we'll go ahead and chuck that battery and get it an actual good one. Maybe see if I can't find a better battery box than that one. We'll see what we come up with. So anyhow, that's about all I got for you guys this week. Hopefully you enjoyed. Next week we'll probably look at trying to get that manure spreader going. Hopefully, I hope. Might come out during the week after works a couple nights and see if I can't piddle paddle around with it, get it going again. So at least make an attempt. I might pull them sprockets off and just put new ones on it. I haven't decided yet. We'll see what happens. But anyhow, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll leave you with a shot of the Super C over there, and thanks again for watching. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and we'll talk to y'all next time.